There have been 3 players this season who've been box office. We know about Asia Wilson. Okay, let's get that out the way. 2-time MVP of the Las Vegas Aces, the best player in the world right now. She's about to set a single-season points per game scoring record, averaging 27.5 points, y'all. Surpassing Diana Taurasi's 25.3 points per game, set back in 2006. That's one person. The others, you know the names. Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky forward, just set the league record for the most rebounds in a season, surpassing the mark set by Sylvia Fowles in 2018. Reese broke the record in just 32 games, so give her love and support. And last but not least is, of course, Caitlin Clark, who just led the Indiana Fever to an above 500 record. Some have compared Caitlin Clark to Tiger Woods and how she's revolutionized fan engagement in women's basketball. Overall attendance, in case you missed it, is up by 20%, breaking TV viewership ratings and merchandise sales. Either way you slice it, it's clear that we're witnessing a golden era in the sport. Caitlin Clark, what'd I tell y'all? Now, I understand there's a whole bunch of people that's balling. How about Custody Mitchell, a teammate, who is just flat out balling? You see what the Aces doing, right? See, Kelsey, you just see this. Plum and the rest of the crew in Las Vegas can't ignore them. I'm looking at the New York Liberty. I'm looking at the Minnesota Lynx. I'm looking at the Connecticut Sun. I'm looking at Seattle. I'm looking at all of these teams. But they ain't the story. Look, we appreciate what they bring to the table, and we appreciate their greatness, and we appreciate what they're giving the fans. But we just have to understand that when a transformational figure enters the fray, you got to pause and then isolate and compartmentalize and give them the love that they're due. And in this case, it belongs to Caitlin Clark. Was I wrong in feeling that way?
Well, they came at you really hard, and that was short-sighted because, first of all, she very well could have played and should have played. In my opinion, I align with you on Team USA. I'm saying this, as you know, I'm still the youngest Olympic basketball player ever. In 1976, I was a high school senior. I was 17 years old. And the late Billy Moore, the Hall of Famer, my coach, she had one pick, and she picked me for the future of the game because she knew the last player who was a great and All-American, just a star of stars, wouldn't get a lot of minutes. So she used that position, and I thought that this team could have used Caitlin Clark for that same express reason because she was going to bring more eyeballs. She was going to make USA basketball, more prominent. And we're talking about economics here. We're not just talking about,
Right.
because. We're talking about we want long-term, sustainability and success. We can't sit there and say we want what the NBA guys have, 70-something years later. They built it to, that $8 billion a year business. Caitlin might not be her cup of tea, but she's not doing anything to hurt Cheryl Swoops. She admires Cheryl Swoops and the Maya Moores and the Sue Birds and the legends that came before her. And I would dare say you can't find a soundbite this season of Caitlin Clark saying anything derogatory about anybody. You don't have to buy the number 22 jersey if you don't want it. But what you should do is applaud her for helping grow this sport that we have busted our ass for the last 50 years. I mean, my Olympic team in 76 just got inducted last August. Some of my teammates thought they were going to die and never get recognized for being the first Olympic women's team. Julene Simpson, who was a co-captain with Pat Summitt on that team. The people are starting to know who Julene, people knew who Pat Summitt was, or Nancy Lieberman, or Ann Myers, but they didn't know who Lucy was until Lucy died. And Trish Roberts and Sue Roycewicz. And we had so many great players on that team. We just want to be recognized. And when the young players of today recognize, the pioneers of the game, it's a thank you.